liberation of our people begins with the emancipation of our minds. Welcome to Unenslaved. All journeys to freedom begin with the emancipation of the mind because an enslaved mind can neither commit itself to the fight for freedom nor imagine itself as free. We liberate our minds when we unlearn, reconceptualize, and redefine what the world has conditioned us to believe and accept about ourselves, our oppressors, and our society. And we heal our minds by working through, reprocessing, and letting go of the mental, spiritual, and physical trauma that is a legacy of the oppressed. Our journey to mental liberation begins with the 5 steps of Ominira. As a reminder, the 5 steps of Ominira are: Step 1, identify the oppressor's binary system. Step 2, identify the oppressor's adoption of their binary part. Step 3, identify how white racist psychopathy enables the oppression of our people. Step 4, identify the oppressor's psychopathic projections and the targets or objects of such projections. And Step 5, identify and heal the traumatic wounds of our oppression. In this episode, we will explore Step 1, identifying the oppressor's binary system. This will require us to investigate how white racists use race and color to divide humanity. To begin, let's define what a binary system is. A binary system is a framework or social construct of 2 parts manufactured by the oppressor to create and reinforce artificial divisions within humanity. These constructs are created to rationalize, consolidate, and maintain indefensible hierarchies which favor the oppressor. They do so by promoting socioeconomic, military, and political dominance that reflect inequities in access to resources, privilege, power, and control. These binary systems are by their very nature oppressive and are fabricated to justify the oppressor's unequal and unjust accumulation or hoarding of political, economic, social, and military power. Binary systems are composed of 2 opposing parts, an alleged superior part and an alleged inferior part, which are framed as mutually exclusive or absolute and unchanging opposites. Within these binary systems, the alleged superior part always holds a better position than its other inferior part. So how do these oppressive binary systems play out in the real world? White racists have imposed their manufactured white versus black binary system upon the world, thereby successfully deluding the majority of humankind to believe that white is superior and black is inferior. White racists have positioned white people and black people on 2 opposite ends of a fabricated racial continuum, where white is civilized and beautiful and black is savage and ugly. Accordingly, the oppressed black part is defined as the polar opposite of the oppressive white part. However, despite the pathological and obsessive-compulsive attempts of white racists to twist reality to fit the needs of their deluded consciousness, the binary system of white and black parts is invalidated by nature itself. In other words, that which constitutes white and black is based upon malleable social constructions, not indelible or immutable genetic facts or truisms. The concept of separate human races does not exist in nature or science, but solely within the falsely reductionist white racist psychopathic mind. Despite the best attempts of racist geneticists or eugenicists to demonstrate the contrary, science has conclusively proven that not only does all humanity descend from a common ancestor, but that this common ancestor originated in sub-Saharan Africa. Sound genetic science has done away with the ignorance and untruths of the false race narrative. That is to say, the biological scientists have proven that there is no white, black, brown, red, yellow, or tan race. There is only the human race. But the strength of the social construction of race persists for one very important reason. It justifies, proliferates, validates, and maintains the unequal socioeconomic, political, religious, intellectual, and military status quo. The white racist has designed a world that programs us to falsely believe that the color of our skin is a biological reality, instead of a social, political, and economic invention that corrupts virtually every human relationship and activity. Despite the fact that these theories, which separate the human race based upon the color of one's skin, have never been proven to be a biological reality, they have persisted as political realities ever since European invaders, like Christopher Columbus and the conquistadors, first stepped foot in the so-called New World and proceeded to initiate the commission of the greatest genocide that this earth has ever witnessed. Since that time, the white racist has conditioned us to believe that skin color demonstrates the intrinsic genetic worth of a human being. Simple common sense, as well as established science, demonstrate the absurdity of color-based racial hierarchies and other race-based theories. In truth, the beauty of our people, which white racists wish to reduce to a supposed color, is a canvas of unmatched depth and breadth. Moreover, within black DNA lies the entire genetic blueprint of all humanity. Every ethnicity on every continent is traced back to Black Africa, the birthplace of all humankind. Accordingly, So-called black people are literally the genetic mothers and fathers of every human that walks the earth. We encompass an infinite spectrum of skin tones, hair textures, eye colors, nose shapes, heights, body forms, and lip sizes. But just as black people are not black, white people are not white. They range in shades from the very pallid to the swarthy, and encompass all shapes and sizes as well. Therefore, relegating white people to a Hitler-idealized, pale-skinned, blue-eyed, melanin-deprived, straight-haired, thin-lipped, straight-nosed people is ludicrous. Moreover, there are millions of black people with pale skin, light-colored eyes, straight hair, thin lips, and straight noses. Nevertheless, white racists attempt to pigeonhole the breadth of our diversity with their artificial definitions and delineations to support their system of oppression. Their racial descriptors maintain the false racial divisions that they have placed among white people, black people, and people of every other supposed color. In order to consciously recognize these falsehoods, you will notice that we always place within quotation marks any adjectives or nouns that indicate or suggest that the worth of a human being may be differentiated upon the basis of skin color or any other phenotype characteristic, which includes hair type and color, any skin shade, tone or hue, eye color, body shape, weight, or height. These quotation marks indicate their fiction, social construction, and fabrication. These words include white, black, brown, negro, and of color. There's but one race, the human race. Therefore, we also place the word race within quotation marks when it represents the false belief that humankind encompasses different races, like a white race, black race, Asian race, Native American race, Pacific Islander race, or Hispanic or Latino race. We will never collectively move beyond the oppressive and fallacious black versus white binary system of white racists, as long as we continue to use such black color, which is the racist's most powerful tool for racial identification and differentiation, to refer to ethnicity and supposed race. Nevertheless, until our people discover, create, or adopt a new name to replace black, which is neither a reflection nor an invention of white racists, our quotation marks will purposefully denote such classification as inherently flawed. Please note that the terms Afro-American and African-American are also problematic. Whether the continent that birthed all of humanity was ever originally called Africa by our ancestors, or was first given the name Africa by some later European power, is a matter of great debate. Therefore, for this reason, naming ourselves African American or Afro-American remains controversial, but this is an issue best saved for another day. So, to summarize our exploration of Step 1 of Ominira, we have identified the oppressor's binary system by examining how white racists use race and color to divide humanity. We have demonstrated how white racists use the binary system to prize white colored skin and other supposed white phenotype characteristics, while denigrating black colored skin and other supposed black phenotype characteristics. More specifically, we have revealed how the oppressor's binary system is built upon false biological markers that perpetuate white supremacy, by 1, rendering the color of one's skin as the definitive characteristic that determines an individual's identity and worth as a human being, 2, profoundly misrepresenting and reducing the richness, fullness, and abundance of our people's unrivaled diversity of hues, shapes, sizes, cultures, and languages, and 3, polarizing white as the universal superior standard and black as the inferior, subordinate, outsider, or other. This concludes our exploration of Step 1 of Ominira's 5 steps. Stay tuned for our next episode, which will explore Step 2 of Ominira, identifying the oppressor's adoption of their binary part. It will answer the question, how is whiteness central to white racist identity? Please subscribe to our Unenslaved channel for all upcoming videos. Thank you.